I'm Dave.
And I'm Mark.
And this is Other People's Beer. Yeah. All right, so we got some pretty good feedback from one of our friends and listeners asking that we do an intro. So from now on, hopefully we'll do an intro if we remember, and if not, I'll get it in post. But this is a podcast and sometimes YouTube series where Mark and I, and sometimes some of our friends who make beer, who know beer, who drink beer, who love beer, we'll get together and we will make somebody else's beer, and then we will add in our own little flair, little je ne sais quoi.
Surprise.
And today's special guest star is Jake, our director.
Producer Jake.
He's right behind us.
Hi.
You can't see him. Oh, there's
his head popping over. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right here.
And his nostrils.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Wet flare.
Yeah. What? Oh my goodness. You can't teach that.
Guys jokes.
Okay, I get it. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
So today's a little bit different. Today we're just going to do 4 beers that I brewed just because I was running low. Nothing super fancy, like I didn't do a comparison, so that's why this is just a tapping episode. But it's mostly based on somebody else's recipes. So the first 2 that we're going to try are 2 IPAs, single hop, single malt, so smash, based on a recipe that Yakima Valley Hops put onto their Instagram for a Sabro IPA. I didn't have all the grains, so I made it a smash, and then instead of using the Sabro hops, I used El Dorado and Idaho 7. So, and we also don't have anything to compare it to. Sorry.
Today's glasses are brought to you by the Southern Growl, our local favorite beer, my local favorite beer pub. They have a annual cookies and beer tasting that my wife and I love going to, and we got a commemorative mug for each of the years we've been.
I've been meaning to go.
It sounds gross, cookies and beer, but they make it work, and it's festive, and it's a good time.
Yeah. Today, no surprise to anybody, is a brewery Ommegang.
I'm shocked.
Oh my word! This one's their Rare Voss. Yeah, even Jake in the background.
Whoa.
Is their Rare Voss.
So what is Rare Voss?
Rare Voss, I believe that's on one of our previous episodes, Adam and I were talking about it. It's where they mix. They blend a bunch of beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did listen to them.
All right. So we're gonna start with the El Dorado IPA.
And what are El Dorado hops known for?
El Dorado hops are they're pretty close to the native Neo-Mexican hops. They give you more of a dank, earthy type of aroma, or at least that's what it says on the package. But yeah, so.
Yeah, a little melon on the nose, maybe not quite cantaloupe, but close.
It's not as hop forward and bitey as I would expect in the palate, but it's
wow.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's good. Full disclosure, I've had all of these before, but
I don't know that I have.
No, I don't think you have.
Beer review.
But anyway, yeah, I'm very pleased with El Dorado hops. Again, this is it's like 8 to 10 pounds of 2-row. I don't remember, but it's probably about 3 to 4 ounces of the El Dorado hops, as you know, throughout the fermentation and throughout dry hopping and stuff like that. So it's very good to me, anyway. Clean,
Yeah.
clear. Straw colored. I like it.
Yeah, I like the kind of quenching. There's a moistness to it too, not a dryness, which I like a lot.
Yeah. All right. So next
Idaho
up,
7.
Idaho 7. This one is based on same recipe, but the Idaho 7 hops are I believe a wild or at least a feral strain of hops that. And forgive me, I forgot the hop yard's name, but out in Idaho.
Check the show notes.
I don't know. I'll try. Out in Idaho, they just found these growing effectively on somebody's barn, and rather than going to get them genetically typed so that they could say, oh, these are whatever branded hop, they chose to keep it like kind of a mystery, right? So it's I believe, I'm either confusing this one or the Walla Walla hops. I don't know. but they kept it a mystery so that it's their own proprietary strain, and it's really good.
I think what listeners and viewers maybe want to know is, are there 1 through 6 as well? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Idaho 7.
I don't know. Maybe this is like the cross.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would name something non-sequentially just for
Yeah, it's like
kicks,
the old
but-
joke where like you release 7 pigs into a building and you number them 1 through 8, or like you skip number 5 or something like that. So I guess to me the Idaho 7 is a little bit more bitey
Yeah.
in the soft palate.
So the aroma is a little more tart, crisp,
Mm.
and it cleans it. It's cleaner in my mouth, and it dries it up. Not drying, but the El Dorado, I felt the presence still there in a pleasant way. This takes it right up.
Yeah,
It's really
so it's like
crisp
a
and
good
clean.
chaser to the first one.
Actually, it is. Both are very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Both are dangerously good.
Yeah, I mean, but they're 5
Yeah, that's
point something ABV. They're not super big. Not quite like a lawnmower beer, but they're definitely not an all day. Maybe an afternoon IPA, I suppose.
I'd have this after mowing the lawn. To each his own.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that one yet.
Okay.
We'll save that one for
okay.
last.
Because the peated.
Yeah.
That was peated, so
Yeah.
we don't want to.
So the next one that I think we should do is is what I'm calling a Norwegian wheat. Again, our local homebrew store, Grapes and Grains. Occasionally, Ken, the proprietor, will mill some grains by mistake, get the proportions wrong, misread an order, what have you, and then he will, instead of like throwing them out or whatever, he'll sell them to homebrewers at cost, effectively. So this one, I took two recipes, 2 wheat recipes. One was just like a normal Hefeweizen, the other one was a Dunkelweizen. And I combined them together, added my own hop schedule, and then I fermented with the Quebec yeast that we talked about a while ago. It was a Oli 059 or 54, something like that. But instead of doing like normal yeast and ferment, like I did the first time I used the Quebec yeast, I actually fermented this at 100, I started fermentation at 120 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I can, right? So I started at 120 degrees and then let it go, and you'll see.
So normal fermentation is 70 degrees.
Yeah, depending on what type.
Well, for many ales, yeah.
Yeah.
Belgians can go a little higher.
Depending on what the yeast is, what the flavor profile of the beers that you're trying to make, whether you're trying to stress the yeast, whether you're trying to like Anchor Steam, right? They use, I believe, a lager yeast at an ale temperature, right?
Yeah.
So you get a lot more phenols, I believe.
I think.
I don't know.
I do like those. I did an off-tasting class for Cicerone, and
Yeah.
the phenols I really liked.
Yeah.
I was like, are you done with that pre-pandemic? I didn't know better. I was like, are you done with those samples? Because everybody else was really grossed out by it. But.
Yeah, I don't know. We also had a request to do a couple, maybe a couple shorter episodes on like how to brew. So like most of the time we've been talking about philosophy, like our personal philosophies, the other brewers' philosophies. But I think, and this one goes out to Corey Hopper, another one of my friends from the boat. He recommended it, and I think it's a great idea. We'll try and do a couple smaller episodes where we're just talking about, it's like, hey, here's the different steps, here are the basics to it, and basically it's going to be, hey, don't worry, right? It'll be a beer.
Well, yeah. For step 1, Google local homebrew shop.
Yeah.
Because even though you can get a whole bunch of things online, having a guy like Ken
Yep.
that you can go to and say,
Yep.
how is this off, is crucial,
Yep.
and they need the support. It's a hard
Yeah.
business. So.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, so look how dark this is.
Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to stand up a little. Oh, look at that's nice. So if you're listening to the podcast, we just had a visual close-up of the beer, so you can go over to the YouTube channel at Other People's Beer, and it'll be very good.
Yep. So the first two were very, very pale, right? And then this one, honestly, I don't remember what the grain bill is, but it's stoutish in color.
Yeah, and I'd say
Maybe a quarter.
a little bit of a malty nose, but not faint.
So what are you getting on that one?
Porterish, but the wheat adds that softness to the mouthfeel. That
Yep.
like the oatmeal stout.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something else going on in the back.
I feel I taste coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's no coffee in it.
Okay.
So
That's good.
yeah.
I'm really glad that we didn't do the peated first because I'm getting a smokiness.
Oh,
that, light, faint. But there's some. It's lingering
Mm-hmm.
in the back in a pleasant way. Fortunately.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is a lot of what I do as a brewer is experiment, and there's often not really a plan, which is part of the reason I got into doing clones, so that I can make something more true to style and true to type, while at the same time experimenting, right?
But also let you know when your experiment, the results of your experiment, if you have a test case, so you can tell. Oh,
There's
these are
a control versus a
control.
There
That's
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
See, as a scientist, a control case is good.
Mm-hmm.
As a leadership executive coach, control can be a bad thing because that can be micromanaging or all sorts of stuff. That's really interesting. Wow. All right. I'm excited about the peated.
Oh boy. All right. So this one, I just had leftover grain. In all honesty, it's like a pound of peated malt, 2 pounds of acidulated malt, and then the rest, 4 to I think probably 8 pounds, is 2-row, and then very gentle hopping with Cascade, I believe, because I had a lot of Cascade hops.
When I first met Dave, I knew him as the guy that often put peated malts into his beer, any beer. So I'm excited to try this. It feels like it's been a while. I don't know if it has.
Yeah, it has been a while. There's a beer I make. I call it Good Engineering Practices, because somebody told me, "Hey, 2 pounds of peated malt is too much," and I said, "So."
Them's fighting words.
Yeah. So I did it, and I think it's fantastic. So
I'm not sure. There's a nose.
there's a nose. All right.
But I'm not sure what it is. Slightly sour, maybe?
Oh, that's the other thing. I fermented it with the Philly sour yeast.
Oh, phew.
Well, so the point of the
My first sour was a bacterial infection.
Oh, it was an
It
accidental?
was an unwanted bacterial infection of my stuff. So
yeah.
it tasted good after about 6 months or so.
Let it mellow.
Yeah.
So the other purpose of the acidulated malt is to lower the pH, and then it gets you a lot more of a the acidity that you get, or that your tongue attributes to sourness.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm not getting the peat the way I expected
Really?
to. No, it's on the back end, but usually your peated ones are wonderfly peaty. And this is sort of like always an afterthought in my mouth.
Yeah.
What, are you?
Maybe because I'm looking for the flaw in this one, right? So to me,
It's like an artist looking at the painting, but I see that stroke I
Yeah,
miss, and
it's
everybody
one
else
wrong
sees a
stroke.
beautiful picture.
yeah, I don't. Well, to me, the profile is you get a bitterness right away, and then it kind of mellows a bit, and then you get the earthy, briny peat,
Briny is good, yep.
and then it goes into like the tail end of the profile is like the acid and the sour aspect of it, and then it kind of trails off like asymptotically into like a melony type of flavor.
Wow.
But none of those
That's
were my
very
intention.
picturesque. I could totally see the graph
yeah.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
But
it's good. So if you had a favorite,
if I had a favorite, it's going to be the Norwegian wheat.
is it
honestly. Yeah, I like. It's a fairly complex, profile to it, but I don't know. It tastes like your comfortable chair that you sit into, right? You could just
Wow.
you just like relax into it and just let it be for a while.
That is
Yeah.
poetic.
Oh,
That's
well,
great.
thank you. I do like the Idaho 7 and the Eldorado. Those are good too.
Yeah, I think the Eldorado is today. It's kind of humid out, and it just has
kinda
that sort of kind of humid.
It's like 112% humidity. That's gross.
So that feels, but it feels refreshing, and I don't want the lightness or the dryness of the Idaho 7. That's great.
Oh, you know what we can do?
What's that?
Let's do a blending and see what happens.
This is one of the fun parts of having keezers.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't have to waste a full bottle on this. You can just try it.
Yeah, so whatever proportion you feel is necessary.
Oh, I should have. Proportions, right. Oh, it is different.
Yeah, it is different.
As a would.
Yeah. It's like both the residual sweetness and the dryness are competing, and neither one of them is winning, but it's a fight that they're trying to.
It's a fight worth having.
Yeah,
I like that. So we talked in a previous episode about how porters and stouts. Oh no, well, porters are kind of one note, but stouts. I mean, we talked about lagers also, how they're kind of one note, which can be a good note, but I don't like to have. Personally, don't like 16 ounces of the same note. This isn't the same note because there is that kind of.
Yeah.
Your taste buds are trying to figure out what is it?
What's
is
going
it melony?
on? What's
Is it
going
crisp? Is it melony? Is it
I
crisp?
think definitely the Idaho 7 and the Eldorado hops play well together. I think they, like, it's complementary, but it's also a little, not diametrically opposed, but a little bit opposed.
It brings out the malt backbone too that I didn't have individually, but I knew it was there.
Yeah.
Definitely that typical IPA profile with the malt backbone. Yeah. Wow. Although I know we've had some different beers, so that might be awesome.
Yeah, our palates are a little bit colored, but
Did you see me cleaning out the glasses before?
yeah, I did. Oh, you're
okay.
a better. Well, that's why you got
Cleaning it out with beer.
I thought about. I need to put a sink out here.
One of those washers, yeah.
But yeah,
Wish you could join us.
yeah, maybe someday.
Yeah.
But I guess until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Mark.
This was Other People's Beer.